Hello and welcome everybody to the latest edition of the Jam and Cheese Show. We are recapping round 2 of the NRL season. Cheese, fresh off one of what I thought was a fantastic game of rugby league. It was frantic, it was fast paced, it was high quality. But more importantly, Cheese, before we get stuck into the game, you've shaved after the game. Like, I don't know why, but it was
still early. Like, it wasn't. It was a 4 p.m. game, so it wasn't like I shaved it.
Yeah, but you play at Manly, so the game finished at 6 o'clock. Like, you do a little bit of recovery, stretch down, debrief, shower, leave there 7, back to your house by 8. You wouldn't have got in before 8:30, I'm going to guess.
8:30 would be about when I got home.
And then you just think, you know what I'm going to do now?
I had a look, mate. I seen myself on the big screen that night. I said, "You're looking a bit putrid, Brandon." Maybe that's why we didn't play well. I don't know. But yeah, I got home and I was like, I need to get rid of this. I need to go baby face again. And I did have to clean it up this morning because I did it in like half lit bathroom.
Well, you've absolutely butchered the right side. It's gone into the... It's almost a case of The Simpsons. I told you to shave those sideburns. Like,
does that fix it?
Look,
I'm taking bloody looks advice from Brad Pitt over here.
Yeah, no. Mate, it's more perplexing. Like, after a game of all the things, I just couldn't be arsed shaving.
Yeah. And bro, I used a razor and I was like pretty thick bearded. So no clipper beforehand. Mate, I was just like a lawnmower just doing that.
Oi, oi.
It was actually, it showed real grit and determination to get through. It took about half an hour, honestly.
Mate, as if you could be
There's
bothered.
this bit here that's hard.
What? I'd shave after a game, that is just not on the radar. I suppose you've got a short turnaround, so beers are probably off the agenda.
Yeah. I had to fill up the time somewhere.
Yeah. I suppose you've saved yourself some time in the week as well.
It's tough though. I still stayed up till 3 in the morning, just looking at the roof pretty much.
You know what? It's funny. I miss a lot about the game, and you forget about some of the things that go into being a player and what it's like. But you kind of forget that after a game, you cannot sleep.
It's almost impossible.
Mate, as well, like, you're not playing in the Sudafed era. Like, in the Sudafed era, like, when
the Sudafed era.
Yeah, well, you used to be allowed to take pseudoephedrine.
Yeah.
But then it got put on the ban list. But before it was on the ban list, it was like commonplace for most players to take 2 Sudafeds before, about an hour before kickoff, and then maybe 1 or 2 at half time.
Really?
So you're having that keep you awake Sudafed, like, daytime medication at half time, like 9 o'clock at night.
I never
like,
knew that.
With all the the emotion, all that like thought going through your head, mate, try and pop. Well, you do it.
Try and pop a Sudafed.
Pop 3 Sudafed, 4 Sudafed in the evening, and see how you go sleeping.
Well, for me, that's just replaced by caffeine. Like,
we'd have caffeine as well. So it was.
Geez, the toilet would have been copped a hiding.
It will, yeah. But mate, it is so different. It's bizarre. You just can't switch off, and then you wake up early as well.
And I get crook ass guts like after games. I don't know what it is, whether it's all the pills or whatever you're taking.
Probably nervous energy as well.
Yeah, but my guts get so crook. So you're just laying there in bed trying to watch something with a crook gut and a sleepless mind. But like last night, I was in bed and like had my eyes closed. But it was just, the eyes were closed, but the lights were still on. Like,
the eyes were closed, but the lights were still on.
Yeah. That's not a saying.
I think the lights are on, but no one's home.
Yeah, see, it's the opposite. The lights are off, but someone's home.
The lights.
Onto the footy.
I like these conversations though, because it does it makes me think back about
living the glory days again.
No, relive the wet sleepless nights. Like, I wonder about that tackle. Oh, should I have done that? And then some of the, obviously, in the age of the internet and the smartphone, you can send yourself down some rabbit holes as well. Again, back in the Sudafed years, there was no smartphones. Like you had to actually get a DVD out.
A VCR.
No, not VCR.
Not that old?
No. Oh, when I was growing up, VCR. DVDs.
You weren't taking Sudafeds when you were growing up, were you?
I think I started on the Sudafed scene around about, it would have been 16. Yeah.
That's a derivative now, Sudafed, for something else.
Oh, yeah. I can remember coming to Australia on a tour, and we'd been like maybe 18, and we were taking Sudafed before the game. But to get it from a supermarket or from a chemist over here, you have to
get a prescription.
Well, you needed ID, and we were like, what the? And then obviously we found out. Obviously, people go on.
That's why the Sudafeds.
I was like, oh,
that's why the Sudafeds are so good.
Yeah, but anyway, yes, onto the football. Unfortunately, we're going to have to talk about some refereeing issues. I don't think decisions, and probably not the act of the referee, but there's a few incidences there which have dominated the headlines. But first, just on your game, Cheese. Was it as taxing and as fast as what it looked on the screen? Yeah,
we sort of started the game and just got punched straight in the face. So we went 90 metres in a repeat set. But you can't win games with 19 errors.
Was it 19 errors?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot.
You just can't do it. And I thought, as bad as we were, we muscled up and sort of, we dug deep to just keep the score to only a 7-point deficit. Because we were, there wasn't a 5-minute period in the game where we were on top. Like not 5 minute, for 5 minutes straight, we had the momentum.
Yeah.
There was probably 2-minute periods where we'd have one set we would do pretty well. But just errors killed us, and that's the way it goes. But yeah, pretty happy with how the boys managed to scramble together, and we were still in the game until the drop goal, really. But yeah, you just can't win games with silly amounts of errors and sort of feeling like we played a bit immature and tried to score rather than get in the grind. And
yeah, there was a couple of times watching that game. I think someone came up with a one-on-one strip, and then we just put it felt like you had a big sigh of relief.
Yeah,
you'd withstood an onslaught from Manly, big sigh of relief. Roosters got possession, and then early errors on play 1 and 2.
Yeah,
it just killed you. Well, I think they scored from an error, quick pass over to Brooks.
Yeah,
and then Talau went over, and then I think some of the errors led directly to tries. But you're right in what you say in terms of the Roosters' willingness to turn up for one another and stay in the fight despite the fact the possession and errors were horrible.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard with a game like that. There's just so many errors, and you're just so taxed from defending so long that you just don't really have the personnel to sort of I guess in attack be more effective.
Yeah. It's hard. I get some listeners out there would fail to understand, but it is when you've done so much defense, it's difficult to do all the small things in attack, like you push support.
Yeah, that's the first thing that goes.
Push both sides of the ruck. The attack soon becomes predictable, and then when you're behind, you can almost think you've got to do something special.
Exactly,
so that's when offloads happen,
and that's where I felt like
happen. Yeah,
we were in that mentality way too early in the game.
Yeah.
Like you got 60 minutes left in the game, but you're thinking, oh, I've got to do something here to turn the tide. It's like, no, you can go 40 minutes in a game and just grind it out.
Yeah, just
and,
wait.
and just find your mojo rather than trying to find something special. But lucky it's early on. But full credit to Manly. Obviously, they're a bloody good side. Well rounded. I was speaking of referee. I wasn't happy. Josh Alawai got me an absolute beauty.
Oh yeah,
he slapped me in the face, and I grabbed his shirt, and then
I got penalised.
I got penalised for obstructing someone. I was like, bro, he just slapped me in the face. It's like, where's my penalty?
Oh yeah, well, it did seem like a strange one because we see those things happen quite often. For you to get penalised was strange, and we, like I say, we see it a lot. Just quickly for the Roosters coming up against South Sydney this week, is it a 5-day turnaround? Is this a good time for a 5-day turnaround after?
It's a 5-day turnaround.
Well, you're playing Friday, aren't you? So, I always had the view of if you have a loss, you want to get back on the park pretty quickly, and obviously the level of performance was below par. So, is that a good thing that you get to bounce back right away, or?
Yeah, I don't mind 5-day turnarounds anyways, because you sort of get looked after throughout the week. They know that you've played recently, so the body gets to recover a little bit better. It's not such intense training, and it was weird having that sort of bye round that we just had.
Yes,
the week off, and we were getting some pretty hard training done. So it's good to get back into the season training and getting the body well rested. But I feel pretty good. I think I only played like 50 minutes, which is, not what I want to be playing more minutes than that. But there must have been a plan or something. But I'm excited to get out on the field as soon as we can and try sort of just fix the problems that we had, because that's the only way you can do it properly. Like, you can do everything you want in training, but all the good reps come in the games. Yeah,
absolutely. And this week it's the big rivalry. The Book of Feuds continues on, and a little extra subplot. It's Jared's 300th game.
You couldn't write about it.
It's Jared's 300th and South Sydney. The pressure is coming. The pressure is on. Firstly, just on Jared, you're his roommate. You've played with them on the international level and now at club level. It's a pretty big achievement to knock over 300 NRL games, considering who it is and how he plays, and not just the injuries that come with that style of play, but also some of the suspensions as well.
I would love to see a tally on how many weeks he's been given, or like a little fine, how much total fines he's had. I think he's pushing to get fines tax deductible.
I mean, there's a case for that.
This is the workplace.
If the tax office is listening, get those fines as a tax write-off.
But yeah,
But you know what? I reckon if that happened, the NRL would double it.
Yeah, probably.
The fines would go from 1,500 to $3,000 because they'd be like, we don't want the players.
They're already $3,000 for the big dog.
Oh yeah, well they go to 6.
Yeah, I think he was getting because it goes up and up the more and more. So I think he was getting pretty big ones, like $6,000 ones as well.
They're expensive, even with the tax write-off. But sorry, go on to Jared.
But it's a massive achievement, and when you see how he trains as well, it's like he's done this for nearly 20 years, and his body's still coping pretty well. But it's massive that I get to spend, I guess, the last year of his football, alongside him and get to play in like this milestone game with him. Hopefully he strings together a few games and he gets that all-time Roosters record. That'd be an unreal achievement. Over 100-year-old club front rower having the games record. That would be, super special. And he loves the Roosters. Like, the Roosters are, his family, and everyone knows that. The level of respect he has at the club. He's up there with Nick Politis as far as what people look up to him at that club. So, and he eats, breathes, and lives red, white, and blue. So, it's a special achievement, and hopefully we can honour the achievement with our performance and our effort on the weekend.
Yeah, well, you'll need to as well because South Sydney, they were in the fight against the Broncos, but now the pressure is really on them. They need a big performance and they need a victory. So this is going to be a fantastic game on Friday evening. What have you made of South's start to the season so far?
They come up against a team that just beat us, and they lost to them. They come up against the Broncos, two tough teams, but it's hard to say. Like, if Cookie doesn't get that 10 in the bin, it's probably a different game. I don't think they've been terrible, but they've just, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
It's too early on in the year, and I don't really want to say something stupid and they put a target on my head and start bashing the shit out of me.
That's a very smart thing to do. I want you to say something stupid to build the hype. Jack Whiten will come into the team, I imagine.
Perfect.
Yeah. So he, I think he's making his debut for South Sydney this week. Where do you anticipate him playing? Do you think, because there's talk, and I think quite harshly, a bit of a fall guy, Lachlan Ilias. I've had this conversation with people, and when you look at the spine of Latrell, Cody, Ilias, Cook, it seems harsh that Ilias would be the fall guy, and perhaps Walker moves to 7, Whiten in at 6. But I guess we'll see. Where do you anticipate Jackie Whiten fitting into South?
I'm just going off what I heard from last year that he'd probably be playing centre, so I assume he'd be playing centre. But it's hard because he hasn't really played there much in the last couple of years or last 5 years.
Yeah.
So maybe that's something we might try to exploit. I don't know. But we'll have to see what he comes out. It's a pretty deadly combo if you say Latrell, Whiten, Cody Walker, Cook. It's pretty handy spine that.
Yeah, it's short.
And the way Cody plays, he can play 7.
Yeah,
it's just a number on the back of your jersey.
Yeah, and that certainly will be an option. But like I say, I think Lachlan and Ilias, like that try save he did on Jason Saab over in Vegas, that we're going to speak about possibly the best try ever from Xavier Coates, but that's one of the best defensive cover tackles you will ever see. Like Jason Saab is lightning.
That boy fast.
And well done, Lockie Ilias, for that. Just on that South Sydney game, Latrell Mitchell spoke to Triple M after the game and used some colourful language, repeated to use the F-bomb. It's nothing we wouldn't even dream of using those words on this show. So I can't repeat what he said.
What a fuck.
The NRL won't sanction him. I believe Andrew Abdo is going to try and meet with Latrell to sort of remind him of his responsibilities. There's calls that some of the commentary in and around it, I think Latrell was an emotional reaction to the situation, frustration, and then some of the commentary again is over emotional in terms of how he should be treated or how he should be punished. But what are your thoughts? Because it can be quite difficult when you lose. You've got a million things going on in your head, and someone shoves a microphone and wants your thoughts after a game.
Yeah, I almost thought that he didn't want to get interviewed again, so he's just done that, and just I don't know. It's tough because I fight the urge to hold those back because I've been in trouble in a podcast that I did with Ice. They counted my F-bombs. They said I had 60 odd F-bombs. It's there must have been a guy with a little tick machine just pressing the button every time I swore. There's 1, 2. But yeah, I was just knowing him. He's a super passionate guy, and at the time he was probably filthy. I don't know. It probably wasn't the right thing to do, but
well, it's not. It's not. But again, like, sport's emotional.
Yeah.
And we go off script.
Yeah.
At times, like the Melbourne Storm finish against the New Zealand Warriors, that's going off script. That's like, you couldn't write about that. No. They were out. I know it's just a round 2 game, but it's not Hollywood.
Yeah, but
it's
showing
not,
that fight that early.
But with Latrell, do you think? I personally, I just think it was a boil over and a person and a club that are deeply frustrated with the situation that they're in.
Oh, for sure. And him individually, like the amount of stuff that he goes through, like it seems like, he's fed up. It's just, he's done with it all. And sort of, you get careless and you start to not think about, repercussions and stuff like that. That's how I feel. And I feel like he just didn't want to be interviewed at the time. And then when he did get interviewed, it was just like, well, I'm going to go raw here. And obviously it didn't take a very good reception.
No, I think as well, look, Latrell carries a lot of weight of expectation, and not just in the NRL community, but also in the Indigenous community. Like, he's he's on a pedestal there. It's been a difficult couple of weeks after Vegas, and he's come out and supported some people, and then through that has gone on a social media exchange with another strong leader within the Indigenous community, with Anthony Mundine. So that likely would have been weighing on him as well. And I just think a conversation with Latrell from either South Sydney or NRL hierarchy should be enough. I don't think he needs to be sanctioned or punished. Yeah. But it should be a great game.
Yes.
On Friday. One I'm very much looking forward to. The pressure on Souths start of the season 0-2. They play you guys next, staring down the barrel of 0-3. I really like JD, really like him, but the pressure is now on him.
Because they've got the personnel.
They do.
I mean, Wyden's going to be a huge in. But yeah, it's like I said, I don't want to put a target on.
No, you don't. But obviously, didn't make the 8 last year. I guess we'll see what happens these next couple of weeks. But it will be interesting. Just on some of these refereeing decisions that were on over the weekend before we get into some other issues. Jerome Hughes is facing a 2-game ban if he fights and loses for pushing/making contact with the referee. It's mind-boggling, this one.
It's so bullshit. What? The ref's like in the way. Like, he's in the way. If Jerome doesn't like push him, well, not really push him, but if Jerome doesn't make contact, he probably scores. And because he's not really in like it's probably a try.
Yeah.
I think, like, I'm hoping that it's just going to be nothing. It's just a mandatory thing you say when you make contact with the ref, and they, check out the situation and see that it was a needed thing.
Melbourne have to fight this. They have to fight this, and if they fight, I'm sure they'll win because the backlash has been intense. There's not it's hard to find a person that agrees with the match review committee. Yeah, because it happens so quickly. Jerome Hughes hasn't He
probably didn't even know that was the ref.
Yeah, he's in a situation where he's like, oh, I can make a tackle, get out the way, boom.
Yeah, and like his split decision was, it was never worrying about the ref. it was always eyes on the player the whole time.
Yeah.
And then as soon as the ref had, been out of the way, it was straight into the tackle.
It was bizarre, and the referees got in the way of Trindle.
They robbed an absolute try of Liami Kikau in my NRL fantasy team.
Oh, gutting. There's just no way that Trindle is stopping Kikau there.
Yeah, you'd need like a mini bus or a train or an elephant with a few chickens to stop him there. And like what because that is like, what's the repercussion there for the ref? Can we ban him for a week?
Yeah, well,
can we give him 2 weeks?
Yeah, give him
made contact with a player.
Positional training. Like, I think, look, the rule that is in place is black and white, and you could argue a case that we need more black and white in our game, but fucking hell, there's no like benefit of the doubt to the attacker, and like common sense plus benefit of the doubt equals.
Yeah, we need more common sense in the game as well. Yeah. That's something we're lacking.
That's why we're here doing this podcast. Jeez, we talk lots of common sense, but it had huge ramifications.
I watched the whole game. I didn't even see any of that. Like, I didn't see the push or anything.
The Melbourne game. Yeah. Well, because it happened so quickly. But the kick out no try. Like, if the Dogs go, you've got to imagine they kick the goal 12-6 up. Yeah. Who knows? But and the Dogs are a team that they need the little things to go their way at the moment. I thought they were exceptional defensively for especially the first sort of 65 minutes. They really turned up, and losing Farmasili off the kickoff was,
didn't help.
Not a great start. First set, you're defending your own line.
Yeah.
Pisses me off that Cam McInnes is making that tackle. He shouldn't be there. It should be one of the front rowers, but that's a little bit of beef that I've got. The other refereeing decision, obviously, one of the new, I don't think it's a crackdown, but it's an area of focus for the referees has been the downtown penalty. So teams usually doing yardage kicks, there would be an early call. Everybody knows there's going to be a yardage kick, and middle forwards and the kick chase team would advance past the ruck, resulting in being what is technically illegal, but it's been looked over for a number of seasons. The NRL this year said, no, if you're in front of the ruck on the kick, we're going to penalise you. We spoke about it last week where you would, as the dummy half, you can't start to advance.
Yeah, well, I had one on the weekend where I passed the ball and walked forward like 2 meters, and then the touchy yelled out, "Stop, Brandon, stop." I was like,
oh, really?
Yeah.
So but that's it. It's predominantly brought in for yardage kicks, right? Go to Friday night's game, Penrith v Parramatta. Isaiah Yeo has gone past the ruck, running, expecting the football. Nathan Cleary has come back, bounced across, put in a reactionary impromptu kick for Dylan Edwards. He assessed the situation perfectly, try scored. No one really thinks anything about it, but then looking at the replays, you then find Isaiah Yeo in front of, quote unquote, the ruck, technically downtown and offside.
Yeah, see,
inside the 10.
I don't know what the rule is with the downtown when you're inside the 20, because I'm pretty sure it's just a yardage rule.
It's just a yardage rule.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But also, I think if the ball goes past the ruck, then it's all good. So if Nathan was to go forward, then bounce back.
I don't think he got in front of the ruck. I could be wrong.
I'm trying to think of it, but it's hard to say.
Like
it's hard to take a try off someone.
Yeah, it's not why the rule was brought in. So I think most NRL fans would be okay with it because it's not why the rule was brought in. And I think not in the spirit of the game, that's not the correct phrase, but if that was to be chalked off, it would be pretty shitty. Like, I get Paramount.
Well, I thought the try that Penrith got taken off them against Melbourne was pretty shitty.
Oh, the obstruction.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
no, I was.
But it's just like stuff like that. Like, it didn't. It's hard to take that off. Like, if that's a grand final, you always go to the grand final. Take that off someone at a grand final winning try. But like, I'm okay with the Penrith try.
Yeah, I'm okay with the Dylan Edwards try as well. I'm not okay with the kick out no try or the Jerome Hughes. Speaking of tries,
if he got 2 weeks for that,
mate, it'd be insane. There'd be uproar.
Yeah.
Speaking of tries, not Xavier Coates, Moses Leota. I thought that was try of the season. Mate,
the footwork.
The footwork and then the speed. He almost looked like he was surprised himself that he
is a handsome runner too.
He can, like, pardon the pun, Leota can motor. Like, he was rapid. Did you see his determination in his face?
That's what I was saying. The face was just like, I can't say anything because I'm very picturesque when I'm running as well. But
I loved it, man.
You could see that it meant he was giving every bit of his energy to that run.
He knew he was scoring a special try right there. Like, it's not one of those you just get put through a gap. You know, so Nathan, like, it's not like his grand final
He broke ankles.
Yeah, it's not like his grand final try, which was important try, but that was like, you know, he pushed up in support and he's got it. It's like, oh, look, yeah, I'm going to show people that because it's a grand final try and all that jazz. He knew when he was going towards the line, he goes, I've done something fucking good here. Like, it was almost like, and I better finish this because I've done some great.
But mate, he looked quick.
Yes, he was. It was that I've got to finish this. Like, it was all quality and good on him for getting that try. He's got a big job on his hands these next couple of weeks with. If Fisher Harris, the results of those scans, Penrith is saying it wasn't from the Campbell Gillard charge, where he sort of, James Fisher Harris went after Campbell Gillard, come out the other end, Campbell Gillard on top. But if Fisher Harris and his shoulder injuries bad, then Moses Leota has got a massive job on his hands to hold the fort there while he waits for his mate to get back. But in terms of tries, the Xavier Coates one was absolutely
and like the context of it all as well.
The game on the line, they go for the 2-point field goal, they cancel that, the chaotic nature. Like, that was insane.
Yeah, like, it's one of those tries that'll be getting watched for, you know, the next 50 years. And the fact that he practices it is awesome. Like, when I was there, he was practicing it.
You know, when you say practicing that, they put crash mats.
Yeah, so like there's like you know those like gymnast big blue mats.
Yeah.
Like, there'll be that on the sideline, then he'll run, jump, someone will push you, and you have to try to put the ball down.
Ah, right. So you're not just practicing.
You're not just running, jumping, and putting, like, you're running, jumping, and someone push you.
And people push. So there's one of the trainers there, like, pushing you off. Yeah. Wow.
I was never in that
drill.
In that drill, but that's what I could see.
Yeah.
I was usually tackling.
Mate, you've got to expand your. That could be the difference.
Mate,
you might.
we were playing walking touch on the 2-3 days ago on a training, and I did a massive dive on the wing. I landed on my ass. I swear I tore my glute or something. So I was like, all right, I don't want to be doing that anymore.
Mate, I'm all for practicing new skills, but it's incredible the amount that
I would pay money to see you try that put down.
I reckon it would be Napoleon Dynamite stuff. Like, just
But
I got about 6 feet of air that time. No, there's no chance.
It was unbelievable.
It was like the context of the game, final seconds, match-winning try, like broke the Warriors' heart. You got to feel for them. They did so well.
It's going to break a massive streak. I think it's 15 in a row, 14 in a row.
It was interesting to hear Coach Bellamy say after the game that Coates is the hardest worker he's seen at the club, which is a huge compliment considering some of the players that have played under Craig. You were there with Xavier. His first year was your last year?
Yeah, just he had a lot of injuries when I was like the preseason. I think maybe that's why he's working really hard, because I think he had done an ankle in one of the preseasons I was with him, and then he done an ankle again that year. So he's still so young as well. Like I think he's 22, 21.
Yeah, he's not. Early 20s.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you didn't probably get to witness the preseason efforts and all that.
Yeah, like
it's just was it because he was injured, but
he's one of those people that chase down everything. And he works hard on video as well.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know what Craig's talking about. Hardest workers still. I've seen some hard workers there.
Probably yourself.
I'll probably top 2.
Yeah.
Me, Billy Slater. Yeah, it's hard to. I can't give a wing in my props for hardest worker. Sorry.
I tend to agree. You know what? Something pissed me off in that game. When the Warriors got a penalty for against Harry Grant. So Harry Grant's jumped out. Jackson Ford had slipped off the tackle, was lay there, and Harry Grant's passed the ball into Jackson Ford, and they get the penalty. Like, the attack gets punished for lazy and shitty defense. It happens all the time.
I actually hated that as well. Bro, I hate it when like you're standing, like you want to go pick up the ball from hooker, and there's someone sit like in between you, and you like get to the ball late. The defense
and
is
the defense
5 minutes
moves up,
and I'm just like, well, I've got to run now.
Man, I can't believe it's so. It's Cameron Smith's fault. So what he started just passing the ball into what, let's call them dead ants.
Yeah.
Dead ants where a defender isn't square at marker and isn't back in the defensive line. He's just there.
Yeah.
He's in the road of the attack. He's in the way because he's fell off the tackle or he's being lazy, whatever it is, fatigue. But it stops attacking football. And Cameron Smith would just pass, even if they were like lay down, he'd just pass the ball into them.
There was that one year where it was rife.
Yeah.
And people were literally throwing the ball straight down.
And we don't want to see that.
No.
But I think if you're the defender, lay prone and you're out of the next ruck, you can run. Once the play's gone past, you can run back and maybe make a cover tackle. But Jackson Ford was in the way. It happens all the time.
Like it was pass height, like normal pass.
It was a normal pass height.
I totally agree with you. It's just, how can you tell us that Harry meant to pass that? Like, how can you say that he honestly just passed it at him? Like maybe he was going for the pass.
But we see it all the time. It happens where it's. I almost wonder if teams do it tactically on purpose. So if you've got a team penned on their line, get a defender to just stop there, and then because you don't get penalised for being offside.
Yeah.
Like, so while the dummy half is moving the guy out the way to get the ball, like the defence line moves up, and it's the same on goal line as well. So like, I reckon teams would start to practice, hey, just lay there and stifle the attack, because it disrupts all your movement patterns, all your timing gets off. It's just, it's for me, it's of all the new crackdowns and stuff, for me, I just wish they'd sort this out.
Yeah, well, that's already a rule. Like, you got to clear the ruck.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't really get enforced.
We don't want it to go to the Cam Smith firing the ball at people on the floor to get a penalty, but it's pissing me off, man. It really is. Anyway, that's my blow up.
That was a blow up.
Yeah. Cheese, your Dragons.
Maybe I don't know rugby league.
Yeah.
That's what I'm starting to think.
They were disappointing yesterday. Coach Flanagan said that's not, but I'm paraphrasing, but that's not a Dragons style performance. They were great against the Titans, but then back to Queensland for the second time in a week. And yeah.
Those bloody flights, mate, they take a toll on my boys. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's...
They look pretty like
it's a reality check, I think.
But also red.
Well, also the Dolphins. Credit to them. I thought Katoa,
first time game.
Isaiah Katoa was great. He was fantastic. But interestingly, like the Dolphins, Wayne made some changes. By the way, the hammer was pretty fucking good as well. To be fair. He didn't have his best game in round one, but yeah, Jeezy made up for it yesterday. Just on the Dolphins, their squad depth was tested last season, and like every team, it will be tested again. Wayne made some changes. Kenny Bromwich not playing, Kiwi international, former teammate of yours. Where do you think his head would be at?
Oh, I guess he would definitely be upset, but knowing Kenny very, very well, like I know he'd see it as a challenge. He'd be doing everything he can to get back in that team. He's no stranger to being, in and out of. Now, obviously, he's an international, but for a long time at Melbourne, like he's got about nearly 100 reserve grade games under his belt. And for a long time at Melbourne, he was in and out of the squad. But I guess it, might be that kick on the arse that he needs and everyone needs.
Yeah. How old's Kenny Bromwich?
He's 30.
Is he only 30? So he's not exactly like...
Jesse's 33. So he's about 30, 31.
Yeah. He's 32.
There we go. Oh, how old's Jesse? 35.
Yeah, he must be 34, 35.
Jesus.
But it's a difficult situation to be in that when you're looking at, like, you're Kenny Bromwich and you're looking around and you're seeing, like, your requirements start to reduce, which I think is probably what's happening. Probably the same happening to Tamalolo. Like when your requirements reduce, it can be very difficult to accept.
Yeah.
Like, and I think I think maybe it is a kick up the arse.
I don't think he's one of those guys. No, I know he's not one of those guys that will like sit on his lulls.
Yeah.
Like if he's not required in the team, he'll do everything.
Yeah.
Elsewhere for like that's what he is as a person. He'll do everything off the field to make sure all the other boys that are playing are getting the best like possible. I guess Kenny out of the team. Yeah,
because he's always been so reliable, full of effort plays. Like I remember playing against New Zealand. He cost us a test match because he fucking saved the day.
Yeah,
like we should have scored and. Who's there?
Is that Great Britain game?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Kenny Bromwich try save on Jermaine
on the winger
McGilvery. Yeah, like should have scored, but Kenny Bromwich was there to save the day in the dying moment. So it was the opposite of Xavier Coates. It was like fucking because Kenny was there. Yeah, it was.
See the difference. He didn't try to tackle him. He just attacked the arms, putting the ball down.
Yeah, he did. He did, which is smart in the moment to do that. But it's It was something I struggled with, that like, I'm not required to be the 60-minute front rower anymore. It's like, oh shit. So, like, and then maybe sometimes through circumstance, you would need to be out there more, but it's a difficult transition to go from being an international wanted player to like now on the fringes, because you got to assume like Kenny will be doing everything possible, but you got to assume the Dolphins are going to stick with that formula that they they had on the weekend after a win.
Yeah,
A
you'd have to.
convincing win. So yeah,
Marshall King was good.
Marshall King was very good. Did you see? I did. Fucking hell! I'm surprised he stayed on.
Bro, it looks so funny because he's already got like one lazy eye, so it looked way worse. It looked way worse than it was like with the camera.
Yeah,
His like lazy eye come flying around. He just it looked like he had 20 20 schooners under his belt. But Jesus,
I'm surprised he passed the HIA, man.
oh, it looked. It was a meter away, like straight.
They hurt.
Straight
like they
to
actually hurt. I've had a couple of them in my time, and they fucking hurt.
I'm a protector. Kick the ball. Just do that.
Not fun. We're going to take a quick break from the show to talk about AG1. Taking care of your health isn't always easy, but it should at least be simple. That's why for the past 3 years, I've been drinking AG1 every day. No exceptions. It's just one scoop mixed in water once a day, every day, and it makes me feel focused and ready to take on every day. That's because each serving of AG1 delivers my daily dose of vitamins, minerals, pre- and probiotics, and more. It's a powerful, healthy habit that's also powerfully simple. Healthy aging doesn't need to be complicated. It certainly shouldn't feel complicated. That's why sometimes when you're taking all sorts of mixes of pills, potions, powders, supplements, whatever, it can become exhausting. But just one scoop of AG1 every single day covers all my nutritional bases. It helps support my mental and physical health, which are so important to me, and I don't need the hassle that can be part of the mental health issues. So in just 60 seconds every morning, I know I'm giving my body exactly what it needs and setting up my sustainable habits for the long run. If there's one product I had to recommend to elevate your health, it's AG1. That's why they've been a partner of the Buy Round for so long. So if you want to take ownership of your health, start with AG1. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 and K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase exclusively at drinkag1.com/buyround. That's drinkag1.com/buyround. Check it out. Okay, now it's time for one of my favorite sections of the show, Cheese, are fans' questions. They've all come from Instagram, and these are there's a bizarre one to finish us off, but we'll go with a nice easy one in. If you could have a beer with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
At the moment, Kanye West really intrigues me. He's an interesting dude. I wouldn't mind sitting down and having a beer with him, getting him really wasted and seeing what garbage comes out of his mouth.
Okay.
Kanye West.
Kanye West. Okay. Look, I want to be cheesy and say like one of my mates, but no, I can't do that. I reckon I couldn't do Ricky Gervais because I'd probably try and kiss him.
That would
it would be so awkward.
That would be.
It would just be.
That would be such an awesome person to have a beer.
No, he'd be great, but I reckon the fanboy in me would like ruin it. So, and they say don't meet your heroes. So,
is that one of your heroes?
Yes. He is.
You want to be a comedian?
I don't want to be a comedian, but I really enjoy.
The Carl Show.
Yeah, I enjoy listening to it.
That'd be nice to be on a table full of beers with those people.
I reckon. You know what? I reckon Trump.
Bro,
I reckon Trump would be the person.
I was gonna say Kanye West or Donald Trump would be interesting.
Yeah, and he doesn't drink. So
Trump?
He doesn't drink alcohol. So I reckon going for a beer with him, maybe get a few, and also what these UFOs. Are they for real, or are there aliens amongst us?
Area 51, what's that about?
Yeah. Talk to us. Yeah, whether you like him or you don't, I reckon he'd be a very interesting person to go and have a beer with.
No, you're right. I was better. I wish I said it now.
Maybe we should hit up the White House. Well, he's not in there at the minute, but maybe if he's got time during his election campaign, he can fly over to Australia, come and meet me and you.
So he can be elected again.
Yeah. Well, he's got the.
I thought he got
the Republican nomination. So it's him v Biden again. It's like a boxing match, like Biden v Trump 2.
Round 1. I think. Well, no, he didn't.
Biden beat him.
He went against Clinton the first one.
Yeah. He beat Hillary. Then Biden got the nomination, and then
speaking of comedy shows, some of those debates are hilarious.
Well, with Trump in, it's become a bit of a. It's
like a Jerry Springer show.
The rules of engagement have certainly changed. Like, he puts personal attacks on people. Like,
He's doing some real sexist stuff to Hillary Clinton.
Again, I'm not endorsing Donald Trump's presidential campaign, but he would probably be up there for a person out of interest to go and have a beer with, and basically because I couldn't do it to any of my so Steve Coogan is another one, but who's a British comedian / actor. I couldn't be with him because it'd just be I wouldn't Kanye West because I'm looking.
Anyone to have a beer with, I'm looking for someone that's going to make me laugh and someone that's just really going to boggle my mind. I think Kanye West could be that guy.
But imagine that if I was with Gervais, but can you tell me a joke? Or I'd try and quote The Office, or try and I'd be too keen to impress. That'd be my issue. I'd be too anxious.
You're
about
better
trying to
than
impress
that.
him, and then by overthinking it, I'd fucking fail, and I'd walk away and be like, "Why did I say that?"
I think you're better than that. I think you'd rise to the occasion.
Cool. That would be a big test. Not to just fucking melt.
Because you'd let loose. You're on the beers.
Yeah, I'd probably melt though. I'd probably go for 10 beers before I met him and then get too pissed. I love you, Ricky. What's your favourite ground you've played at?
Las Vegas.
Allegiant Stadium.
Allegiant Stadium.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm going to go Anfield.
I played there too.
Yeah.
Not as good.
It was against you. Would you rather you lose your hands or eat a loved one's eyeball?
Well, that's fucking easy. I'm eating the later eyeball. Keeping my hands.
Yeah. I don't even know if that's there's not much deliberation. There's not much thought going into that. You're just like, well, I'm just gonna have to do the tough cat. I lose my hands forever, or just crack on and eat someone's eyeball. They can get a glass one.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. They could get a glass and bro,
Dad,
losing your hand.
Losing your hands is there's lots of things you can't do.
Yeah, it's just good luck finding a loved one that'll let you eat their fucking.
Yeah, you've also got
my mum. You didn't fucking eat my eyeball.
Mum, you said you do anything for me. Guess what?
See these? Gone.
Yeah. Or you can sacrifice. And just have a glass one. An interchangeable glass. I'll even get you 2 glass ones.
You want green eyes? Blue eyes?
I'll get
Shit,
you.
You want hazel eyes?
I'll get you the full the colour spectrum of eyes, but you're gonna have to lose one. So not much of a not a tough question. So thanks for everybody that sent their questions in. Please keep them coming because we do enjoy hearing from the listeners, the viewers, and I enjoy the challenging questions, or sometimes challenging questions. Cheese, that just about wraps us up. All the very best for this week ahead. It's going to be a great game. Looking forward to it. Go well and rip in for Jared's 300.
Thank you, Jimmy.
All right.
Sure.
Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll catch you next week.